Hi, do you have framed art sitting on the floors or worse yet, stored in a closet? I hope this video will give you some ideas on how to get that artwork up on the walls. I'm Ann DeCoco. I'm a residential interior designer based in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I specialize in a 2-hour interior design consultation in your home. Today we're going to talk about how to create an easy gallery wall. So let's get started. The easiest tool that you can use to create a layout to see how things are going to look on your wall is to use good old-fashioned graph paper. The important thing to remember is to make your drawing to scale. So each one of those boxes will represent 6 inches or 12 inches, whatever the scale is of your graph paper, and keep your pictures, your framed art representations, those little rectangles you see there, keep them to scale too. And now you can see what it looks like. Give yourself more than one layout. Here's a layout. This layout just shows them all lined up in a row, and then this layout shows more of a grouping and another picture off to the side. What this was for a client who had these beautiful antique pieces of art, and they were 3 different sizes. 3 pieces were one size, 2 pieces were a little bit bigger, and a third piece was bigger still. Way over on the left there was a light switch and maybe a doorbell, so there were a couple things to avoid. So what I did is made a grouping on the right side of the 2 different sizes, the smaller and then the medium, and then I put the larger piece kind of by itself over on the left side, and it moves over for the doorbell and the light switch. And then I came upon a piece of software called Homestyler, or Easy Homestyler maybe, and it lets you use the images that they have in the app, or you can take pictures of your own room and use those pictures to place things on the wall or to place furniture on the floor. It's a really fun app and pretty darn easy. The learning curve is not very big, so that was fun. In this picture I'm showing, okay, here's all your artwork, your blank wall and your artwork laying on the floor. Let's get it up. And here is the picture of what I did to create the gallery wall. So what my thought process was the 3 kind of medium pictures that were all black and white, I grouped them together. The picture that was predominantly black and white but had some nice shots of color in it and was larger, I put that in the middle. The 3 small pictures I put in a vertical line, lining them up. These are all pretend pictures. And then the larger picture on the right that has nothing really to do genre-wise with the other pieces of art, I'm still going to use it because the people who live in this space, my fictitious people here, they like this picture. They like all of this art. So that's what's tying this picture in with everybody else, is some sort of memory, an event, or they remember when they bought it, what it's about, what it reminds them of. So it goes. It looks fantastic. Then I made a room with this Homestyler that's just a plain old room, kind of cold. It needs a little something, doesn't it? Yes, it needs art. And here it is with the art. Now what I did here is I pretended that 2 people have little art collections here. One person has an Americana themed art collection, and he really wanted it up on the wall, so I placed the smaller pieces on the right side of the door opening and the larger pieces on the left side of the door opening. But I used that table and lamp as my dividing point. I don't really like to have artwork hanging behind the lamp unless I'm starting to run out of space, and then it's fine. Then the other person who does not have the Americana themed art collection liked landscapes. This is a fictitious family, but still, go with me. And so a landscape is still kind of an Americana theme to me, with a little stretching, because it's just a picture of a beautiful spot in our country. Around the corner you kind of can see I put 3 small round objects. In this case they're mirrors. They're the same size and shape, but they're different finishes around each mirror, and I lined them up to kind of transition around the wall. I like to put art on small pieces of wall. I made another one. This is more contemporary, has a soaring ceiling and it's a big wall. What to do. I made sure when I created this room that it had some plants in the room, because I think plants really add warmth to a room, and this room with those skylights could definitely house some little trees or big tropical plants and keep them healthy. And this is what we did. A big trend right now is great big pieces of art hanging on the wall, and I love that. I think it's a real eye attention grabber. And on the left, when you see that big Gustav Klimt painting, you see nothing else around it. I didn't need to balance it with other little pieces on that piece of wall that was left on the far right. The eye needs a place to rest. That's a good design tip for you today. The eye needs a place to rest. You don't need to fill every space. Then flanking the wall, flanking the fireplace, excuse me, instead of putting in the ubiquitous built-in with bookshelves, I put art. And on one side, where the tree is kind of balancing a little bit, I hung a row of black and white photographs. And on the left side, I put a big vase on the floor. I put something tall on the floor there, because that's a piece of art too, right? And then I put hung a vertical piece of art, framed art, above it. And I think that fills the space nicely. Then I just dug through my pictures of things that I have done, and here's one of my favorites. I love finding a big frame in a vintage store or an antique store, a thrift shop, whatever, and taking it home and then painting it. In my case, I wanted a pop of purple, and painting it and putting it on the wall and then hanging some smaller art inside it. I did sort of the same thing with this lovely little piece of art. She's in a hoop, this little lady, and she's 4.5 inches in diameter, so she's really tiny. She looked kind of cute on the wall, but I wanted to give her more oomph. And I went out and got this wreath and put it around her, so she is now beautifully framed, and that will stay up all year long. So I hope this video helps and you will get your pictures out of storage or off the floor and up on the wall. If you think a 2-hour interior design consultation would be helpful to finish any of your rooms in your home, give me a call. I'll post my website on this video, and you can just go to my contact page, and there's some handy tools right there to get you started. I look forward to working with you. Thanks.